right, it is day 10 of distance learning, and today is going to be another practice of our last topic. So on day 9, we actually looked at a longer video, and then you had some practice that include working on a worksheet on the computer, and then there were a couple of practice problems where you actually were able to graph them by clicking and dragging the y-intercept and then following the slope. So today's practice is going back to a quizzes, but it's the same topic. So we're going to do a very quick example. It's going to be a shorter video. So again, we are going to be graphing linear equations, and those specifically written in slope-intercept form. So very quick reminder, slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, where m represents your slope, your rise over your run, and b represents your y-intercept. So we're going to go through this example right here. So it says graph the equation y is equal to negative 2/3 x plus 6. So before we go ahead and generate the graph, we need to figure out what our slope is and what our y-intercept is. And we know right here that this negative 2/3 is our slope. And what that means is we're going to be going down 2, because it's rise over run. So if this is our slope, that means we're going to be going down 2 units because of that negative 2, and then we'll be going to the right 3. So my movement will be down 2, right 3, based on that negative 2 over 3. But the second thing we need is our y-intercept, and that's telling us where our line is actually starting, where it's crossing the y-axis. So if I take a look here, my line is going to be starting at the point 0, 6. That's our y-intercept. So to create this graph, we're going to go over here. Our y-axis is the vertical axis, so straight up and down. And the first thing we're going to do is plot our y-intercept, and that's going to be at the point 0, 6. 0 starting at the origin, and up 6 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here is our y-intercept. And then from there, I'm going to follow my slope. The top number tells you your rise, whether you're going up or down. In this case, we're going down. And then your bottom number tells you whether you're moving to left or right. And in this case, we're always moving to the right, unless we're going backwards to figure out the rest of the line. So from here, I'm going to be counting down 2 boxes and over to the right 3. That gives us our second point on our graph. But we have to keep following this pattern until we run out of coordinate plane, until we run out of space. So again, down 2 and over to the right 3, and down 2 and over to the right 3, until I have actually run out of space on my graph. I'll go back to my y-intercept and continue this pattern in the opposite direction. So if my pattern is going down 2, right 3, the opposite of that would be going up 2 and left 3. And if you notice, that point is still in line with the other. So again, I'll go up 2 and left 3, and then I'll do my best to connect these points using a nice straight line, because again, this is a linear equation, which means our slope is consistent throughout. It's a constant rate of change, and when we finish connecting our points, we should make a straight line. So here is the graph of the equation y equals negative 2/3 x plus 6. We're going to do one more example. So this time I'm going to have you graph the line. We'll put here, we'll say graph y is equal to 3x minus 2. And so what that means, again, we have to first figure out what our slope is and what our y-intercept is. And so when I'm looking at this equation, the number next to x is 3, and on our notes, if our slope was a whole number, we can write that as a fraction by taking our whole number of 3 and putting it over the denominator of 1, because 3 as a whole number can be written as a fraction 3 over 1. So that means the 3 is telling us to go up 3 units and to the right 1 unit. So that's how we're going to be moving. But the second thing we need is our y-intercept. Our y-intercept would be this number right here, which tells us we are starting at the point 0, negative 2. That would be our y-intercept. So we're going to create this graph. purple this time. Our y-intercept is at 0, -2. I start at 0 and I'm going down 2 units. Here's our y-intercept. And now I'll count my slope. Up 3 units, 1, 2, 3, and over to the right 1. And again, keep following your pattern. Up 3 units, 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1 until you run out of space. Then we're going to follow that same pattern but in the opposite direction. So if going up and right was my pattern, now I'm going down 3 and left 1. I'm still in line. Down 3, left 1, and my last point won't fit on there. So I will connect my points to create my linear graph, and that's how you're graphing your points. So again, on day 9, we had posted all the notes, so if you need to go back and get those, please do that. And then today's practice is going to be a quizzes, so you'll be looking at digital formats of this. So you can't actually go through and graph these, but I'll be asking you questions like, which graph has the y-intercept of -2, for example. This would be it, because if I look at my y-axis, this has a point right at the point 0, -2. So it's going to be more of a matching practice than it is actually going through and graphing. So please reach out to me if you had trouble with day 9, whether you're submitting or if you had trouble with creating the work. Please let me know. I'd love to help you out. Just send me an email, or you can send me a comment right on the assignment and I will reply. Okay? Enjoy.